Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds, back in the studio Thursday morning. The Oklahoma Thunder definitely showed the true Thunder last night in that game.
Keep in mind they are the reigning champions and a really good team. They've won 68 games this year, regular season. They're pretty doggone good. Well, they did wake up last night against the San Antonio Spurs. San Antonio, by the same token, had a bit of a down night. Now, we're talking in relative terms. Oklahoma City wins it 122-113 to even the series at a game apiece. Oklahoma City, folks, is still the favorite in this one. The big plus for the Thunder was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who happens to be the NBA's most valuable player 2 years running. He woke up last night, had 30 points, and really did a great job of engineering the Oklahoma City attack. Now, what about Victor Wembanyama? He was not exactly absent, folks. He had 21 points, which is half of what he had the night before they put the defensive clamps on him. But he also had 17 rebounds. So now the series moves for the next two games to San Antonio. What's going to happen down there? Well, of course, the Spurs are playing at home. They'll be a whole lot tougher. Not that they aren't tough already, but I have to think that Nick Smith, who is the San Antonio coach, is going to do some refurbishing, reworking of their lineup to where Wembanyama is able to post up. He is 7'4", and that's a tough defensive scheme for anybody, to where he'll get a few more shots at the basket like he had on 2 nights ago. 2 nights ago, I guess it was, in their big win. He had 41 points that night. He's really a good player. So we'll see what happens when they play again, which is tomorrow night.
He's freaky because he's, like you said, 7 foot tall, but he can shoot like Curry, man. And he makes it look so easy. Doesn't matter where he's at. It's insane.
Really good player.
But what I was going to ask you is, you think Oklahoma figured it out? Do you think they figured out how to stop him?
One game does not prove a lot.
Very true.
So we will see when they go to San Antonio and how Oklahoma City plays away from home without their crowd boosting on 18,000 in Oklahoma City last night, which is full house. How they play in that surrounding, I think, makes a lot of difference.
They're going to have to go down to San Antonio and get that first win if they want to show them. But I think, more interestingly enough, even though Wemby is insane, if you watch some of the post-game stuff from that first game in the series, all the dudes from San Antonio were still saying, even though they won handedly, that was the hardest game they've ever played in their life.
There's an overtime.
Thunder ain't going to give it to them, man. That's for sure. Speaking of giving it, what's the purse this weekend, and where are they getting it?
Well, it's a lower purse. It's about half of what it was for the PGA National, $10,300,000, and this time they're in McKinney, Texas, they being the golf pros. So I would suspect that not all of them are going to play in this one. $10,300,000 purse. That's still pretty doggone good, and the winner will get upwards of $1.5 million. Anyway, it's the Byron Nelson Classic, the CJ Cup Byron Nelson Classic. This is one of the staples of the PGA Tour, and it is a very good event. The course in McKinney, Texas, is the PGA design course, so it'll be a tough outing, but that's where they play starting today.
We've got a lot of baseball, college playoff action going on right now. Any of our local schools still vying for something?
Yes, the Bears. First of all, we'll talk about Missouri, since their season ended yesterday in the Southeastern Conference Tournament. Mississippi State beat Mizzou 12-2, and that ends the season for the Missouri Tigers. Arkansas remains alive. They knocked off Tennessee 8-4. This has not been a great year for the Razorbacks, but hey, they think they have a chance now. They get warm now during the SEC tournament, which is played in Hoover, Alabama. That's a suburb of Birmingham. We mentioned the Bears. They played their first game since last Saturday. They've had a lot of rest. They'll be on the field against the home team, Kennesaw State. So that is the game. That's later this afternoon. The Bears do have another game after this tomorrow. That's guaranteed by the pod that they're playing in, and that other game will be against Dallas Baptist. So the Bears and Kennesaw State, it's a big one. The Bears really need to get at least one victory, and preferably two in this pod, to get to the championship round this weekend.
Aaron Rodgers announcing he will be back in the Steelers uniform for at least one more year, and this will be it for him.
Yeah, this not at least. This will be it. When he suits up and plays the season for the Steelers, he announced yesterday that he'll retire at the end of the year with no ifs, ands, and buts about it. Come on, the guy is the oldest player in the NFL, the oldest active player at the moment. He turns 42 at midseason, and to think that he's going to play 17 games and take the beating that quarterbacks do in the NFL, no. So, but he still feels he can play this year. So the announcement by Aaron Rodgers yesterday that the 2026 campaign will be his last in pro football, hardly a surprise. It's been a great career. The guy's really been an outstanding player.
He has been. Did you see that story about him talking about the Hat Man? Did you see any of that stuff?
No, I did not. What's that one?
Dude. So, Rodgers is kind of out there, right?
He's different.
Way different. Went down to Peru probably about 5 years ago plus and took this. It's a hallucinogen that they use in South America called ayahuasca, okay? And it's like makes you violently ill, and then you have these vivid hallucinations. Like tribes in South America would use, like shamans would use this for
What's
hundreds.
the plant that it's from?
It's ayahuasca. I think
that's
ayahuasca.
the name of the plant.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's been talking about since he took that 5 or 6 years ago. He keeps seeing what he describes as this black hat man. Sometimes it's holding a bunny, sometimes it's holding, but he keeps hallucinating this man since he took that drug down in South America. This guy is.
He's not hallucinating. He's not. That's Chris Jones coming in.
No, actually, the funny thing is, there's a meme right here, and someone did a picture of Ray Lewis with the black hat on. That's the funny. That's why I thought it was hilarious. All right. Anyway, we talked about the college baseball playoffs, but what about the Missouri high school teams? How are they doing right now?
I had not heard that one before.
Yeah, the Ray Lewis picture is hilarious.
Well, for the high schools, it's the same as the colleges. And the schools, one loss and you're gone. Season's over. So the district championships will all be decided this weekend. Then it's on to the sectionals, and then the state championships for all the schools begins on June the 1st down in Ozark. Republic defeated Glendale 3-2. Ozark was a 2-1 winner over Joplin. Nixa was a 2-1 winner over Branson. Kickapoo 8, Neosho 2. Fairgrove was a 6-1 winner over Ashgrove. Logan Rogersville a 4-2 winner over Hollister. And Willard knocked off West Plains 3-2 in a dandy.
As far as the Royals and Cardinals go, listened to a lot of the Cardinals game last night, and even though the Pirates beat them 7-0, it probably could have been worse because they were still leaving runners on base.
The Pirates did leave runners on base.
It could have been a lot worse than 7-0.
The Cardinals couldn't come back. They were stymied. Their offense is a little on the sporadic side, so those things can happen. But it's a 7-0 win for Pittsburgh. It was 3-0 in the ninth inning, and Pittsburgh scored 4 more runs. And it was Mike McGreevy who really took the bulk of the punishment in here. They play again this afternoon up at Busch Stadium. This is the getaway game, and it's also the rubber game of a 3-game series. For Pittsburgh, it's the end of a 4-game losing streak against the Cardinals. And, Pittsburgh's had trouble with St. Louis, but not last night. 7-0 was the final. The Royals and Red Sox and Boston, which is a down year, really down year, goes into Kansas City and sweeps the Royals. The Royals are just really having just a tough time getting going. Red Sox won at 4-3. Jarren Duran had a home run and a couple of RBIs. Conley Early was the big story here. He shut down Kansas City, did allow 3 runs. But the fact is, Conley Early, who is a really interesting story, began his college career at West Point in the Army. Well, you are permitted to transfer after your second year at Army and go to another school. Otherwise, you're in. You're in as a career person, or at least for 5 years anyway. Well, Early decided he wanted to be a pro baseball player, and his future was there. So after his second year at West Point, he left and went to only the University of Virginia, one of the toughest schools in America, and continued his career there. He was the starting pitcher and the winner for the Bo Sox last night. So the Red Sox win it by a score of 4-3. Springfield Cardinals lose twice to the Arkansas Travelers, 3-2. 10-0. That team can't get any consistency going.
Got to start making some phone calls, buddy, and get some wins for these teams, Ned. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.